today I have a few errands that I'm running.
I feel like I keep saying the word beautiful, but it is just a beautiful day and I'm in a beautiful mood and I'm just really happy. Watching your colleagues do their version of what you do is really helpful.
So Sephora first. I love this mascara. I may have bought some books. Like, to just be able to go outside and see the northern lights almost every night. We are coming into my favorite time of year. Hello and welcome to a new vlog. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm a full-time university writing instructor and a part-time content creator and indie author who has just launched her 8th novel. Available now on Amazon. Welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It is great to have you all here. Welcome to a beautiful and glorious Tuesday morning where everything feels good in my little bubble of a world right here, where the sun is shining and the birds are chirping and it is only 59 degrees outside with a projected high of 71. So my AC is off and my windows are open and I'm just so excited. Yeah, if you're new here, I live in Phoenix, Arizona, where it is blazing hot for like the vast majority of the year. And we are coming into our like 4 good months of the year. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and realizing I need some kind of lip color today. The thing is, do I dare put something on camera and risk messing up here? We'll go with a nice neutral fail safe. There we go. Just something to add a little tiny bit of color so I look a little less like I'm practicing being a corpse for Halloween or a vampire or something. The undead look does not look good on me. Anyway, there is a faint sound of landscaper, lawnmower, something in the background, so apologies for that. It's been moving around the apartment complex. I've been up since 5:30. I've had the windows open since just about 6 o'clock, a little bit before 6, before the sun even came up, and it was just so nice. It was so quiet and everything was still because the sun was still down, and so people weren't rushing around outside doing stuff, and there were no landscapers yet, and the birds hadn't woken up yet. And then just watching it gradually lighten outside as the sun started to come up. I didn't go for a hike today because I've got a busy day today planned. I don't normally have days like this. I do have to be mindful of my energy levels, so I didn't want to go overboard. I had time to go for a hike this morning, but then I was a little worried I would run out of energy halfway through my day, and I don't want to do that. So I'm all dressed up in a very fun, like slightly autumnal outfit. I've got my blue and white striped shirt. I've got my blue jeans on, my brown loafers that, yes, they did absolutely shred my feet in London that first day. But I don't plan on walking 9.5 miles today, so I think I'm good. I have worn them around campus since getting back, since the semester started, and they've been okay. That noise is getting louder. Hold on, let me close this window because it's gonna have to get closed a little bit in a moment anyway. There we go, that's a tiny bit better. But yeah, I've got the brown loafers, and then I've got my acorn and oak leaf ring, my acorn and oak leaf necklace, my sterling silver squirrels that my friend Avi sent me. The necklace was got in Oxford in 2019 in a pop-up shop in the Covered Market. The ring is from Rue B, York. I think it was like right across from the Minster Gate bookshop. And then this is just my standard sapphire ring. I wear this every day. I got this in London several years. No, that was 2019 as well. So the ring and the necklace were both 2019 travel purchases, London and Oxford. So I've got my swirling silver jewelry on, as Avi has now named this category of jewelry for me, and I think it's the best name ever. And yeah, I'm all about anything oak leaf, acorn, or squirrels are like the trifecta for me, but then also just anything generally like leafy, botanical, floral, things like that. And I've got my pink plaid handbag, satchel bag that I got in York. I'm gonna carry it and wear it for the first time today since buying it. It's not been very seasonally appropriate when I first got back from England. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a summer bag because it's like a Harris tweed plaid print on it. So it's just been sitting on a shelf being admired since getting back from England, waiting for its big moment, and I think today's the day. It's not going to be cold at all. It's just going to be cool enough throughout most of the day that I can wear one of my like England outfits. This is an outfit I wore in England. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I went to England earlier. I vlogged it all. That was a few months ago. More than a few months ago now. I don't know where time has gone. But all those vlogs are there, and everyone really enjoyed the vlogs. If you haven't watched those vlogs, would highly recommend. But yeah, today I have a few errands that I'm running. It is a work day. I have been working here at home. I've started working way earlier than usual. I've still got plenty of time, so I'm gonna do a little bit more work, I think. Check my email and stuff. But first I'm going to go to Sephora. It doesn't open until 10, so I've got to wait until then. I'm going to leave a little bit before 10 so that I'm like at the door as they open it at 10 a.m. So I'm going to pop over to Sephora, and if I have time after Sephora, possibly also pick up a coffee, and then I'm going to drive down to campus. Tuesday is not normally a campus day. A friend of mine has asked if I could come and observe them teach. So I said yes, because I had other plans for later this afternoon down in Tempe. So I figured, well, if I'm going to be going down to Tempe today, feed two birds with one scone kind of a thing. Let's swing by campus. I can observe them, help them out, and then I can leave campus and go to Changing Hands bookstore, where I'm meeting another friend of mine for just a girly bookshop, coffee shop friend date. We haven't seen each other since before the semester, just as the semester was starting for me. It was like mid-August when we met up. I vlogged that. That was my first ever trip to Changing Hands. Absolutely fell in love with it, and we pretty much immediately decided that we'd meet up again in October. It took us until later October to be able to have a date that we could both do it. And this date kind of worked out because I knew it would be the day after book launch, and I thought it would be a really fun thing to do. So I'm gonna go treat myself to some fun things at Sephora. I have a list because I've got some things that I am out of and or have a legitimate need for. I mean, as legitimate as any need for something at Sephora can be, but I do have specific things I'm looking for and wanting to restock or try. I'm not just going to look and see what I find, because you will find everything in that case. So I'm going to try to stick to the list, no more, and then I'm also going to try to treat myself to 1 or 2 books at Changing Hands today. But yeah, I am excited. It should be a really fun day. It should be an absolutely beautiful day. It's going to be a little bit warmer down on campus and down in Tempe than it's going to be up here, but we have like several days straight so far on the 10-day forecast that are going to be like below 80. Some of them are even going to be below 70. We are almost to November, so like these temperatures are a little cool for October, but given that November, as I'm filming this, is just 3 days away, this is normal. We're finally there, I think. I'm trying not to jinx it, so like fingers crossed, but I think we're finally coming into autumn, and I'm just so excited. So yeah, I'm giddy. That's what I am. I'm giddy. But I need to go get some more work done and get myself ready, and then in about 40-ish minutes I'm gonna get everything together and head out to Sephora. I'm only gonna have a few minutes, like 30 minutes, that I can shop before I need to get back to my car and back on the road to get down to campus. So it will be a whirlwind trip, which is why I have a list. So yeah, get comfy, get cozy, and hang out with me for what should be a really fun out and about kind of day. We're leaving the apartment, y'all, and I'm taking you with me for a whole day. Well, almost a whole day. But yeah, it should be exciting, so I hope you enjoy. Made it to campus. Sephora was fantastic. They've completely rearranged everything in there at the one closest to me, and they're still under construction. So like there's racks that have nothing on them, and there's things, displays and shelving that look very temporary. I'm assuming they're going to be aiming to be done by the time the holiday rush starts. But yeah, so it was a little bit chaotic in there. Like one of the things I was looking for had the label for a completely different brand above it. So I had to get someone to help me find it, and even she was struggling because things weren't labeled quite correctly. But I found everything on my list, except one thing, but that one thing I felt like I could take it off my list. I'll show you everything I got when I get home and when there's like better lighting and stuff. And then the coffee shop I wanted to go to was really busy, so I went to a different coffee shop, but coffee has been acquired. It's still absolutely gorgeous. It's still only 65 degrees outside. It's full sun, so like it does feel warm. I brought a scarf with me. I think I'm gonna bring the scarf in my tote bag just in case the classroom is cold. But like I got an iced drink because it's not cold outside. I wish it was cold. I want it to be colder. So yeah, I've got my handbag, my beautiful, I'm loving it too. It fits everything so well, and it's just so beautiful. And yeah, just absolutely in love with this handbag that I got in York, if you missed that whole video. And then I've got my Daunt tote bag because I have my work iPad with me to take notes while I observe my colleague. I don't think I'll take a ton of notes, but because it just needs to be like a one-page write-up. But I just want to be jotting down things that I can talk about and expand on. So I do want to take some notes. It's been a good day so far. I physically and mentally, my brain is struggling a little bit to like process words. So physically, I'm not feeling the greatest. Physically, I am struggling today. Yeah, but I know why I'm struggling, and it's all fine. Everything is perfectly normal. It just is not fun. So yeah, physically, I'm not feeling the best, but my mood is still really, really good, which I will take, because the last few days I've been feeling rough physically, but also feeling really rough mentally. So it's kind of nice that my glasses are filthy. I'm just realizing this. It's kind of nice though that at least today, my mood is cooperating. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining, but the sun feels nice. It's not like boiling hot. I'm wearing a cute outfit and I'm not getting overheated walking around. Sephora was really quiet. I got there literally right as they were opening, and there were like more employees than there were customers inside. So it was pretty nice. That is now I know, go when it opens, because I just don't think it's that busy. We'll see how it is like during the holiday season, because that will probably be when I go. I still have a smudge.
Okay, that's a little piece of hair. I need my proper cleansing cloths. Do I have any in my desk in my office? I might, so I'll look there. But anyway, I need to get inside. It's 20 after 11, and my colleagues said that they usually leave for the classroom between 11:30 and 11:45. So I wanted to be walking into our office to meet them just before 11:30. Yeah, I will take you with me and we'll enjoy a beautiful day on campus. I feel like I keep saying the word beautiful, but it is just a beautiful day and I'm in a beautiful mood and I'm just really happy. Windswept. It's a bit breezy out there, but so beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's like, let me see. It's like 71 degrees outside. It's just, I think that's like 21 Celsius, something like that. It's nice. It's beautiful. This is what summer should feel like. It's just not what summer feels like for us. But yeah, that was fun. That was really fun. That went really well and had a really good time. It's always so nice to see what my colleagues do and how they teach their classes. This was the same class that I teach, is what I was observing my friend teach, is one that is a class that I am currently teaching. I'm currently teaching that class as an online class this semester, but it's giving me ideas of like things I can add and just tweak a little bit in my class. I really wish that I was able to observe my colleagues more often. It's really hard to work it out scheduling wise and like finding time to come down to campus, and I'm usually only on campus on days that I'm teaching. And yeah, I'm just realizing I need to like each semester, I think, just make a plan, see when my friends are teaching, see when I can go in and observe them, because it's so valuable. Other teachers, if other teachers are watching this, you can chime in and let me know. But I just feel like watching your colleagues do their version of what you do is really helpful. I always learn more about teaching and the classes I teach, like especially observing someone teaching the same class that I teach is just really, really helpful. But yeah, it was a beautiful day on campus. Today I would not have minded if my colleague was teaching in a building completely opposite from where I park. But they were in the same building that I usually teach in, so that made it easy. But now it is time for me to head to changing hands and meet up with my friend. So I'm going to text her and then start driving. It's only about 10 minutes away. We should be getting there around the same time. I haven't had a text from her yet, so I don't know if she's on her way yet or not. So I'm going to text her, and then I will take us all over to changing hands for what should be a really nice long catch-up chat in Wildflower Cafe, then a bit of a book browse, or maybe we browse first and then coffee. We'll see.
me set y'all down. Ugh. Sit down the tote bag because it's full of makeup and books and other things, but it also has a lot of makeup and books. So I have had an absolutely lovely afternoon. It's been such a good day. It was good to see my colleague at work and observe them. This truly is the best tote bag. My Blackwell's one is also really nice. Let me show you we'll start with the order that I purchased things. So Sephora first, which I have in a cute little reusable makeup tote bag. It's not branded, it's just a reusable bag, but I got it at Superdrug in London ages and ages and ages ago. And there are only so many Sephora bags that you really need. So I got a few things, and pretty much all of them, most of them are, I think all but one, is restocking something that things that I already own and have already purchased. So they're repurchases. One is brand new. So we'll start with the brand new item. And that is by Day, I think is the brand. And this is their Cactus Fruit 3-in-1 Styling Cream and Taming Wand. 3 ways to tame, slick, smooth, and style is kind of they've got the illustrations there. So for slicking back if you're doing an updo or something like that, for smoothing any frizzy flyaways. I'm on like day 3 hair, so you're not gonna notice them. When I freshly blow dry my hair, I always have these little hairs that just stick straight up, and they're not long, they're little baby hairs. It's really kind of annoying. There's one doing, but like this one I can get that to like calm down on its own. But when I freshly blow dry my hair, there's like nothing I can do. And so I'd been wanting to try out something like this, and yeah, I saw Fleur de Force talk about it, and she, like, I'm still capable of being influenced by some of my longtime favorite influencers. So yeah, it's just on this really long wand, and you just kind of go over the flyaway and brush it down. And I'm liking the way this looks. I do not have the hairstyle currently to give this a proper test, so I will try this out and I will let you know how I get on with it. But I'm very excited to give that a try because now that the weather is cooling down, we are getting to the weather where I want to be able to leave my hair down more. If I'm just putting it up into a ponytail and I want that slicked back look, I don't really need something like this for that, because I'll just hairspray all the flyaways down. But when I'm wanting to leave my hair down, I'm hoping this will help. Another hair product, and this is a restock. I've bought at least one bottle. This might be the 3rd one I've bought actually. And this is the Bumble & Bumble Preda Powder Post-Workout Dry Shampoo Mist. Dry shampoo mist sounds really contradictory, but I love this. And this is the time of year that I use this the most. In the summer when it's really hot, I have to just wash my hair after every single workout. But in the winter when it's not that hot, I can sometimes get away with taking a shower but not having to wash my hair every time. So yeah, that's a game changer. I will use this in the summer sometimes though, if I've just gotten a little bit overheated and I just need to freshen up my hair a bit. It cleans and refreshes damp, sweaty strands post-gym, mid-heat wave, or whenever. So yeah, that's exactly what I use it for. This says, I think the instructions, I cannot read them because honestly I probably need bifocals, but I refuse. Yeah, so you're supposed to spray it in, shake it really well, because there is like a starchy thing embedded in this, so you have to shake it up really well. Section, spritz, let it sit for 30 seconds, run fingers through hair or brush out. I don't do that. I let it sit for about 30 seconds and then I take a blow dryer to it, and it gives me back some volume and it fully dries out my hair, and yeah, love it. So I'm down to like the last little tiny bit in the bottle I currently have, so I wanted to restock that. So those are the 2 hair products I got. Speaking of a product that I'm down to the last tiny little bit, the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. I am down to the last bit in the little pot that I currently have. It's like I'm literally scraping around the bottom edge of the one that I have. Love this. I've lost count of how many of these I've bought. It could honestly be into the double digits now. It might be like almost 10. I've been using it for years, but a little goes a long way. So I probably go through maybe 2 of these a year. I think each one lasts me about 6 months. I use it primarily at night, but I'll use it in the day as well. If I'm just passing by my bedside table, I might put some on. But I have found that it is just the best product for my lips at night. It keeps them nice and hydrated so I don't wake up with like really dry lips. And this is as someone who sleeps under a ceiling fan pretty much every night all year long, even in the winter. But it's been this lip product for years now. Then some makeup items. I restocked my Sephora collection Big by Definition mascara. I love this mascara. It's really good. And Sephora collection, I think this is only like $12. So the Sephora collection, their own brand, is really affordably priced. Like drugstore makeup used to be the cheapest, and now most drugstore makeup is actually not that cheap anymore. This is on par with drugstore prices. Really love the Sephora collection items in general, but I'm obsessed with this mascara. The bottle that I got, or the tube that I got right before England and wore throughout the whole England trip, that finally ran out, died on me, just got too old, and I've been without it for like over a month now. So my lashes have been begging me to get this. So I finally did. And then I also got the Tint and Volume Brow Gel, also by Sephora collection. Really love this product. I've gone through a few tubes of this already. I got this in shade 9. No, shade 6. I think it's shade 6. Which is, can I see that? Yes, shade 6, soft charcoal. So it's a nice dark brown. Even though I've gone a little bit lighter with my hair color, my brows, I still do a slightly darker color because it doesn't show up on my brows as dark as like it looks on the tube. So wanted to get some more of that because I'm all out of, I got another one by e.l.f. and I really don't like it. So definitely need this. I need to just tint my brows, but I also like using this. So when they're freshly tinted, when I freshly tinted my brows, I just use clear brow gel to like style them and put them in place. But when I'm in between or at the end of, you know, I'm about to need, like I desperately need to tint my brows again, when it's mostly my natural brow hairs that have grown out, I will use something like this to tint them quickly just for the day. And then the final thing I got at Sephora is the Touche Eclat Radiant Touch Concealer. I love this. I absolutely love this. This is, I think, the third of these that I've bought. It was one of those products where I didn't understand the hype back in the early days of beauty YouTube, and like when I first started in 2016, everybody talked about Touche Eclat. So it's got a little wand and then you just click, I'm not going to do it now, but you just click up the product, it comes out through the top and you brush it on wherever you want it. I primarily use this in my like under eye area, and it just brightens and lifts that whole area. And yeah, a little goes a long way. So one of these does tend to last me a good amount of time. If I were to use it every single day, it might last me just under a year, but because I don't use it every single day, one of these, I think the last one I bought was quite a few years ago, but then throughout the pandemic I really wasn't wearing makeup, so it, you know, your mileage may vary depending on how frequently you do like a full face of makeup. But this is one of those products where if I'm only doing like brows, lashes, and under eyes, like literally there are some days where these would be the only 3 products I would use. So happy to have this back because I had 2. I got this in shade 1, and then I also had a tube in shade 0. my shade 1 died. Completely ran out, wouldn't click up anymore. And so then I switched to my shade 0 and finished that one out. And so I was like, okay, I need to go buy another one. So very excited for my new Sephora goodies. Next are the books. I got 2 books. So next from Sephora, we'll go to Changing Hands bookstore. So at Changing Hands, I had a fantastic time. I met up with Jess, my friend Jess. We did our PhDs together, and I think I knew her even during my master's degree here. So we go way back. We last met up back in August at Changing Hands. That was my first time going to Changing Hands bookstore, and we decided that day that we were gonna see each other again in October. We were originally gonna try for early October. That didn't work out. It's now the very end of October. We actually already have another friend date in the books for just a couple weeks from now, so that'll be good. But yeah, we did Changing Hands again today. So we first met up at Wildflower, which is adjacent, like they've got a doorway in between the cafe and the bookshop. So we got something to drink and something to eat. I hadn't eaten very much today, so I was definitely hungry. So we got ourselves some drinks and some snacks, and then sat outside because it was actually outdoor patio weather today. So we sat outside for a good couple of hours, a little over 2 hours, had a fantastic time, and then we went into the bookstore and wandered around, and I may have bought some books. There were 3 that I was looking for. I knew that I would probably buy 2. So there was one that I knew that they had, and then there were 2 others that I was going to ask about and hope that they had at least one, and they did. So the third one that I looked for, I will have to just find online. But the books that I got, we've got a fiction and a non-fiction. So the fiction, and this is the one that I knew that they would have, is by R.F. Kuang and Babel. This one, like, I didn't read it when it first came out. I know it got a lot of hype originally, a lot of people really liking it. It just kept popping up in different places for me. And it's always been one that I was really curious about. It's like alternate history, Oxford University, 1828. It just sounds right up my street. Like, it sounds really, really cool. I don't know if I'm gonna read this before the end of this year. This would totally be an October, November type read for me. Like somewhere around the middle of November, I'm going to switch to feel-good, cozy, lighthearted Christmas rom-com type books. So once I make that switch, I would not be picking this up. So I don't know if I'll be able to read this before my brain makes that switch. And I don't make the decision, my brain makes the decision. My brain just decides, okay, we're done on this kind of book, which is what I will usually start reading in like September, is when I start reading fantasy, witchy, paranormal, supernatural fantasy type books, alternate history type books, fantasy like this, as well as like books set in bookshop or books set in libraries that maybe are more cozy romance. But like September, October, November is that like academic bookshop kind of vibe. Whether it's fantasy, paranormal, supernatural, or cozy, lighthearted, it's still somehow related to books and stuff. Books, bookshop, libraries, academia, things like that. So this is definitely in that, like, I don't know if it's technically dark academia, but it's definitely got that like historic academia vibes. Yeah, really have been wanting to read this, so I'm very excited about that. So finally picked up a copy of this. So, and if I don't read this, I will sometimes circle back to this genre in January. So if I don't read this before the end of this year, I will probably try to read it in January before I dive back into romance and stuff. Usually February is all about romance, but I read a lot of romance throughout the year. There's really only a few months where I really love reading this sort of darker, historic fantasy type book. So yeah, anyway, we'll talk more about that another time. Then the non-fiction book I picked up is a YouTuber book. I love a good YouTuber book. And if you've watched my channel for any length of time, this won't surprise you because I've mentioned her before and I've shown myself watching her vlogs in my vlogs. And this is by Cecilia Blomdahl, Life on Svalbard, Finding Home on a Remote Island Near the North Pole. So I am obsessed with her channel. I am obsessed with the idea of at least visiting Svalbard one day, if not living there for like a few months. Like I would love to stay for the entire polar night. I just think 3 months of complete darkness, or rather 3 months of not seeing the sun, but being able to see the stars, the moon, and the northern lights. Like, to just be able to go outside and see the northern lights almost every night. It's why I love watching her channel. So if you are not already following Cecilia Blomdahl, she's kind of a YouTube and TikTok sensation. I also follow her on Instagram because I'm not on the Clock app. But when I saw her announce a book, and it's a beautiful, nice, big coffee table book. It's got Grimm on the back. If you're not familiar with Cecilia, you've probably at least seen her dog Grimm in a TikTok or another. Let me see if there's a better picture of Grimm. I'm just flipping through this, and yeah, it looks really, really cool. So that's Grimm. He's a Finnish Lapphund, and he's adorable. But yeah, it looks really cool. It goes through like the whole year. So part 1 is Polar Night, part 2 is Pastel Winter, part 3 is Sunny Winter, part 4 is Polar Day, and part 5 is Golden Autumn. And so it takes you through the whole seasons. She's a brilliant photographer and a brilliant videographer. I absolutely love, and it's full of pictures. But also lots of interesting information about life on Svalbard. I thought this would be a really good book to pick up, especially at this time of year. This is, I think, my favorite time of year to watch her channel because it is almost polar night. So they've already had their last sunset. The sun has gone down for polar night, and the sun won't come up until February, I think. So they're gonna have like 3 weeks of partial daylight where there'll be some light in the sky for a few hours, but within the next few weeks it's going to be like just pitch black darkness. But that's when you can see the northern lights and the stars and the moon, and it just, I know for a lot of people, including some of you, the idea of 3 months of complete nighttime, like complete darkness of no daylight, sounds like your idea of hell. That sounds like heaven to me. As someone who lives with the sun all the time, the idea of taking a 3-month break from seeing the sun just sounds perfect to me. So yeah, I would love to live on Svalbard, or at least have an extended vacation to Svalbard sometime. So in the meantime, I watch her vlogs, and now I can read her book. So very excited about my books. Not sure when I will read both of them, but they will be read at some point. I'm currently reading something else on my Kindle. I'm trying to just read as much as I can, but yeah, it's definitely a challenge with my brain being the way that it is at the moment. But anyway, I need to go check in with work on my laptop. I want to go change into my comfy cozies. It's nearly time to get something sorted for dinner. Thankfully, I've got some leftovers from yesterday, so I just need to make some fresh pasta to go with the leftover sauce that I have. But yeah, the weather is cooling down. It did get a little bit warm in the apartment, but I think once the sun goes down, it'll cool down in here. It still feels fine. So I've got the windows open, but I need to open up the sliding door to let more of this cool air in, and I need to open this window all the way. So yeah, it's been a fun day. I don't feel well physically. I've gotten worse throughout the day. I just really don't feel well physically, and I should have just been on the couch on my back all day today with how I'm feeling. But despite that, I had a really good day. I had a lot of fun. I got a bit of social time in, but I don't feel like it was too much social time, so I still feel really good right now. And yeah, I needed a day like today. It was really good. So now that I've had a fun day, it's now time to have a relaxing night. there it is. I'm very tired. That lamp has turned off, so it is definitely time for me to go to bed, because I do want to try to go for a hike tomorrow morning. So I can't be slow and lay in bed a little bit late tomorrow. Like, I need to try to get up and get out of bed right at 5:30. We'll see if that happens. It is going to be pretty cool. So if I don't get out there for sunrise, that won't be the end of the world. But I have been loving those sunrise hikes. I can't wait to see what some of you think about. It'll be vlog 75 is what I've uploaded tonight. That'll be published tomorrow as I'm filming this. So that'll be the vlog that went up last Wednesday. And the edit I did on the hike in the beginning of that vlog, it's like the second scene of that vlog. There were some moments that I did specifically time, but the last moment of that scene just timed up so perfectly with the music, and it was just completely by accident because of what I'd done to time the bits earlier in that clip to the music. I feel like my hiking scenes have there's two directions they can go. Either really quiet, magical, whimsical, relaxing hikes, or they're grand cinematic epics. And like, those are the two vibes I have with the music. This one was a grand cinematic epic, and oh, I've watched it back several times because I just love how that edit turned out. So I hope you all enjoyed it. But yeah, it's been such a good day. It really, like, I have felt like rubbish physically all day. My body is just going through it right now, and it just not the best timing. I knew it was coming. If you know, you know. But the weather is getting so nice, and it's only going to get better. Like, looking at the 10-day forecast, it's going to warm back up slightly, but still be really nice overall. I might have to turn the air conditioning back on for like a few hours. Probably not tomorrow, but probably Thursday and Friday. But then like starting Saturday, it cools back down again. And then like what I can see of next week on the 10-day forecast is all like 60s. Like, I think it's finally here, you guys. And I'm just so happy. I'm just so relieved. With everything else going on, I just need the weather to cool down. It's just dealing with the heat on top of everything else has just been more than I can handle. I'm excited for it to cool down so I can start doing some afternoon and like sunset hikes. I'm loving the sunrise hikes, so don't get me wrong. There's definitely going to be a lot more sunrise hikes throughout this hiking season, but I also love a good sunset, and I feel like I haven't been able to watch a sunset properly since the spring because it's just too hot. We are coming into my favorite time of year, and for those of you who've only been following me since the summer, you're gonna see a completely different side of me over the next like 5 months while the weather is cooler and nicer. Is it 5 months? November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, about 5 months. By March it'll start getting warm again, but I'm still like happy winter mood Andrea in March. Summer Andrea hasn't fully arrived yet in March. She arrives in April. Summer Andrea is still fun, but summer Andrea is just a little less happy. Let me know in the comments if you have seen winter Andrea before, or if you've only known summer Andrea. Those who've been following along for a while will know what I'm talking about, because it is a difference, and I can feel it already. I can feel winter Andrea already arriving, and I'm just so happy to be back in that headspace, because there are just so many things going on right now that just feel so hard and so heavy, and some of them aren't as hard and as heavy as they feel, and that's just what my brain is trying to make me think. But then that's exhausting, to be dealing with the negative thoughts in my brain and trying, like, constantly having to reframe everything, as my therapist would say. All the reframing, all the like self-talk to like work through the negative thoughts and stuff. It's exhausting, and I just feel like I'm doing it constantly these days. And so the weather, the heat, has just been one of many things that has been negatively impacting my brain and my mood. And so to just at least have that one thing taken away, it makes such a huge difference. But also the book has totally been something that has been stressing me out. No matter how much I try to tell myself not to stress about it, there's just so many little things as you're counting down to launch day and everything that you're hoping will go right and hoping will go smoothly. So like the book being out is another thing that just feels like that's a big pressure valve that's just been completely released. The stress levels have come way down, and now I'm back at the start of the process for the next book. So the stress for that one will gradually ramp up, but we've got months before that's going to reach the same levels that Forever Love London was just at. So things are getting easier and feeling a little bit smoother. It's not all the way. There's still plenty of things that just feel really hard right now, but the weather changing and the book launch being done, being on the other side of the book launch now, those are just two things that are going to make such a difference. But anyway, before I ramble on too long, because it's probably now past 9 o'clock and I really have to go to bed. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I feel like it was just a pretty normal day in my life vlog, but I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'd really appreciate both of those things. In the comments, what book other than my own, this is not a fishing expedition for you to say my book, but what book other than my own is on your wish list? Babel has been on my list for so long. I'm glad I finally got that. And also Cecilia Blumdahl's book has been on my list since she announced it and it went up for pre-order. So I got 2 of my wish list books today. So what books are on your wish list? Again, you don't have to say mine. That's not what the question is about. But I'm genuinely curious what books other than mine, because I would like more books to put on my wish list as well. So yeah, what books are on your wish list? And you can leave me some book and coffee emojis in the comments. Although I had an orange juice. I did have a coffee this morning though, which is why I had an orange juice at the coffee shop cafe this afternoon at the bookstore, because I did not need another coffee. But I have now been rambling for 18 minutes, so I'm gonna stop and go to bed, and I will see you all very soon. And I will have edited it down from 18 minutes, but yeah, I need to go to bed now. So I will see you all very soon in the next vlog. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye!